After a recent leak that required us to demo much of our guest bathroom, we're attempting to turn lemons into lemonade and make this the guest bathroom of our dreams. But this process is gonna cause way more headaches than we anticipated, and we're far from the finish line. Did it just break?
It sure did.
So join me and my DIY wife as we turn this bathroom upside down.
I'm about to retire.
All right, where are we going?
We're breaking things up. We're going to Home Depot.
What?
Because we need more of those shiplap panels, and I don't think Lowe's has those.
Do you think Lowe's is gonna have her feelings hurt or what?
No, Lowe's doesn't pay us.
No, they do not.
They should.
But this led to a very important question. If Home Depot pays us, would we forsake Lowe's?
Yeah, they're both close to our house.
Just letting you know, Home Depot or Lowe's.
We could probably make a Home Depot song, and by we I mean you. I can't make a Home Depot song.
But that's the thing, we already have a Home Depot song. Hit it. Home Depot. Home Depot. Trip. Every single day it's a Home Depot. Trip.
It kind of just feels like we're making fun of Home Depot with that song.
It's a little lackluster. It could use some work for sure. It's kind of a Frankenstein operation. It really needs its own treatment, but we just didn't have time for that. I got it. Thank you.
Once we got inside, we headed straight back to where the shiplap panels were, and this is definitely a job that's easier with 2 people.
This definitely took a bit of doing, but there's no better feeling than a job well done.
To save time, we had them cut down all of the panels in store. In half at 40 inches.
And after some speedy cutting, it was time for a speedy escape.
Hey, don't you bang those up. You're fired if you do.
Your boards are in good hands.
The way all this stuff smells.
You're an interesting character. I love the smell of pine in the morning. We quickly turned our minivan into a truck. Give it the magic treatment. And once again, our kids had a few surprises for us. Guys, what are we doing back here? The DuckTales, woo! Mary Poppins,
The Tales of Robin Hood, Chick-fil-A trash.
And then it was time to switch places for a bit.
Would you like a finger in this shot or no?
Sure, yeah, throw it in there.
Where's
What's your specialty?
Oh my gosh, you're doing 2 at once. I'm trying to like film and move this at the same time. This is gonna be really wonky filming. I think you're in all the way back there.
Come on, you little toot.
Are you talking to me?
No.
I like this whole like filming thing while you do that. It's kind of fun. I feel like I could like mess with you and make jokes.
Even just mediocre quality shots, I might consider it. If we end up with a finger in 75% of our shots, I can't do it, I'm sorry.
You're doing such a great job.
Thank you. We're back in position. I feel like the only thing going through my head is
Oh, who else grew up with DuckTales? That's what we watch.
And we're back. Once we got home, we unloaded all the materials, and it was already starting to get hot outside.
Progress was happening inside, which was really exciting, but it also meant we needed to change our plans up a bit.
Sometimes when you're doing a renovation project, there's just a lot of moving pieces, and so we're doing our best to make the most of the time.
So our tile guys are actually working in the bathroom now, and so we're kind of having to rework our schedule, and we're gonna go to Lowe's to get some more of the trim pieces that I need because we cannot install the shiplap right now. We have a chance of rain for the next few days, so I'm kind of like, how are we gonna do this? But for now, we're going to Lowe's.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip. So what are we coming back to Lowe's for again?
So I need crown molding because I want to do crown molding up at the top, and then I need some kind of trim board to put on top of the shiplap, you know, that'll sit on top. I also need window casing because I'm gonna add trim around the window in there. Right now it's just sheetrock. We got like 10 minutes because we gotta go get our kids, so we've really gotta hurry. We've got less than that, so we can't film.
Go
We'll
now.
just say, surprise,
Don't tell me
this is
that.
what we got.
Get back here, you sucker.
Leaving me in the dust. And we don't mean to brag, but we were kind of on the way to a new world record. And time.
Unbelievable. It has been 9 minutes.
Woo!
That's why we park here.
Once we got home, it was time to unload and discover this week's first curveball. So I'm out here unloading, and Andrea's inside with our tile guys because we discovered yet another monkey wrench.
Unfortunately, our tile guy let us know that our drain pipe was about 5 inches too high. This meant that we needed to have all of that plumbing that we just finished redone. Really quick, we want to say thanks to Dreo for sponsoring today's video. With all of the construction dust that we have had in the house, it's really important for me to have a good air purifier running to help keep the air clean. You might not be familiar with this brand, but on Amazon, the Dreo tower fans are actually the highest selling in that category. They recently released a purifier tower fan with 2 independent motors, which is an industry first. Consider it an alternative to the Dyson PureCool, but at only half the price. Plus, you can control the purifier and fan separately, which you can't do with the Dyson. As a 2-in-1 device, the filter air exits the top fan area when the purifier feature is in use. The fan circulates the air to ensure it's cleaned over a larger area. The H13 HEPA filter inside can effectively capture 99.95% of airborne particles, including dust and pollen, which if you've been watching our videos, you know we really need that right now. So I've had this thing running pretty much constantly. Even with running it constantly, like day and night, we barely even notice it running in the background, and if we are sitting in the same room with it watching a show, we have often even had the fan at the highest setting. But if you do want it to be a little bit quieter, you can easily turn the fan down and keep the purifying feature up at its highest level. I also really appreciate the oscillating feature of the fan. You can set it to just blow in one direction, or you can actually adjust how much you want it to turn, and I have never seen another fan that did that, so I thought that was really cool. So to check out the Dreo tower fan, you can click the link in the description below or use this QR code for more information. They have also given us a discount code DIYWIFE for a $39 total discount on the tower fan. Dreo has also offered to give one of our viewers a free purifier fan, and all you have to do is comment below where would you use a Dreo purifier fan in your house. For me, I pretty much keep it running in this very room 24/7, but I do also love to have a purifier fan going in our bedrooms because that's where we're sleeping every night. So don't forget to comment below and check out that link if you're interested. Now let's get back to today's project. After we got a plan in place to fix this whole plumbing situation, I went out to the garage to get my tools so we could move on to the next phase of this bathroom renovation. But first I needed to stop and admire the progress so far. This is looking really good. It looks so different in here. This is like a little bit mind-blowing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is that same bathroom, huh? So while we were getting supplies for all of the shiplap and trim and crown molding yesterday, this was happening here, but the part I didn't think about with that is we can't have too many workers in this small bathroom at one time. So we bought all of our supplies and then we had to pause. So we're playing a little bit of like musical schedules. We just try and get in here whenever they're not working on the shower. So we got a little bit right now. We're gonna try and get as much of the shiplap done as we can before we have another plumber come to try and make some repairs, to try and fix what the first plumber did. So the first thing we're gonna do is get our old vanity out of here just so we have a little bit more room while we work. I built this little vanity shortly after we moved into this house, and although it is still a great vanity, I want to do something different for the new space.
And we did our best to break a leg.
Oh.
Did it just break?
It sure did. Whoa, looks a lot bigger now without a vanity in the middle of the room. So I have a few more things to get off the walls before we can start installing the shiplap. Alright, next I need to pull these little countertop backsplash pieces off the wall, hoping they're not glued too thoroughly, but the good news is we are putting shiplap over that, so if I tear the drywall up, it's not really that big a deal. Oh! That is heavy. Oh my gosh. It's going! Oh!
Nice catch.
I was gonna let it fall, but then I was like, I don't know. Maybe not. After removing the backsplash pieces from the wall, I went ahead and removed the rest of the old baseboards to get them out of the way.
It's looking really good. All right, what's next, darling?
All right, we have just a little bit of time, like less than an hour before a plumber comes to change some of this up. So we're just gonna get as much as we can done. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and mark the height of where I want my shiplap to be. And then I'll make a level line around the room. I will never say level and plumb wrong again. Man, I had so many people tell me level is horizontal, plumb is vertical. So if you didn't know that.
For Pete's sake, get it right.
I just want it all straight, just how it's. A lot of you let me know, thanks. We're gonna make a level line around the room and I'm gonna mark my studs and then we'll move on from there.
And it's moments like these where you realize you're working in an old house.
Holy cow, look at this curve in the wall. Look, I can stick my finger in there. Oh my gosh, my shoulders are burning just from that. All right, have my lines marked on this half of the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark where my studs are above that. I personally have found that marking all of my studs before I actually start installing the shiplap makes the installation process a lot quicker and run more smoothly. All right, I'm gonna start with the piece that I'll slide right behind the toilet there, and then I can go that way and that way. So I just need to measure for this one outlet because I think that'll hit this piece, and then also where the water line comes out of the wall, I'll need to notch just a little bit. After measuring where I would need to make my cuts, I wrote them down on a piece of paper and then went and grabbed my first piece of shiplap. All right, I went ahead and marked where I need to cut out for my outlet and then the little water line down there. So I'm gonna get the hole started with a really large drill bit first, and then I'll use my jigsaw to cut those out.
Nice.
After making my cuts, I slid the panel in place and crossed my fingers that it would fit.
Nice.
Looking good.
Looking good.
Next piece, and I'm doing this one because it's a whole piece and that's easy. But then I'll focus on figuring out how I want to cut around that. It'll be behind our cabinet, so it doesn't really have to be pretty. And I mean, there is no pretty way to cut around that pipe that's coming out at a curve like that.
Let's focus on one thing at a time. How about that? Giving it the old checkaroo. You good?
Good, man.
Nice.
A little cleaner in here already. After installing my first couple of panels, it was time to tackle this section with the plumbing coming out of the wall. And once again, I measured and then marked on the panel and made cuts with my jigsaw. All right, next I'm gonna go ahead and mark where this is. I think I'm just going to cut basically like a giant hole around it, and then I'll slide the panel over it. Again, it doesn't really matter how pretty it is. It's gonna be behind my cabinet, but I do want this stuff accessible, so that'll work.
And this series of cuts felt a little more artistic. Another one down.
So much cleaner now with that hole covered up partway. Next, I'm gonna pause from the shiplap. Well, I'm not really pausing from the shiplap, but I need to add trim around this window because this piece, I want it to butt up and hit the edge of my trim and not go behind it since this stuff is thinner. So I'm gonna measure and then I'm gonna go cut my trim outside. But just as we were heading outside to make our first cuts, our new plumber showed up to help us find a solution for this drain. Thankfully, the plumber was able to give us a couple of different solutions, and we went with the cheaper one, the compromise being that our drain wouldn't be perfectly centered.
And although we were grateful for a solution, it still was an extra expense that we weren't expecting.
About an hour later, he was able to finish the work and even had some unexpected good news for us.
It actually worked out.
Nice.
being perfect for you guys, you know. Like
33 3/4, 33 3/4, so it's pretty close.
If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, then be sure to sign up for my free newsletter where I share tips and advice on how to create a thriving YouTube channel. The newsletter is free. Just click the link in the description below and use my 8 years of YouTube experience to your advantage.
With plumbing finally taken care of, I was ready to get started on the window trim.
The rain stopped and you can see where the water puddles. The mold in our playroom is an ongoing saga, and we'll update you really soon as the story unfolds.
This blade on the saw is just so big that I don't like holding it when I have it at like a miter, and so I usually just use my clamps. For these two side trim pieces, I just have one miter cut for the end, and so whenever that's the case, I like to cut my mitered cut first, and then I can measure from that, because it's just easier to measure and then be more precise with my cut on a straight cut versus like making my straight cut and then trying to get my mitered cut to be the right distance. It's a little bit trickier. Can you see this? These are like fogging up so bad. It's so humid. Alright, I got my trim pieces cut outside. I'm going to try putting just a nail in the bottom of each of my side pieces so I can then fit my top piece and just make sure everything is fitting correctly before I put a bunch of nails in. And hopefully this will go really smoothly and I don't have to like go making more cuts or anything. Thankfully, everything fit perfectly in place. Window trimmed. All right, now that I have the trim on my window, I'm ready to measure for this piece because like I said, this one's gonna butt up to my trim, which is the reason why I wanted to get that attached first. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure and then mark on here. I'm just gonna need to cut off a little bit and then cut around where it'll go under the window, just barely there. I kind of want to put curtains on this window.
Babe, can you get focused?
I'm focused, I'm just... I decided to make all of my cuts inside because number one, it's been raining outside all day, and number two, the bathroom was already a mess and needed to be vacuumed anyway.
How's it looking?
It's looking good. After installing this panel, we ended up having to hit pause and switch spots with our tile guys for a bit. All right, our tile guys are back, and so we're gonna have to pause for a bit.
Again.
I can't really finish this little bit of trim on this wall because they're gonna go ahead and add the sheetrock around the outside of the arch for me. They said they would do that. So I'm gonna leave the shiplap and trim for this side of the door and the window to do later. But I did decide that I want to shiplap the ceiling. We're gonna try to see if we can kind of get it out of here and not be in their way while they're working on this. We'll just see if we can make it work. So let's go get that first panel. We'll do like a dry fit, see if it even fits.
I believe in you.
I don't even know like the best way to do this. But as quickly as we got started, we found ourselves in their way and needed to take an actual pause.
Kind of a back and forth waiting game, yeah?
Yeah, we could go get some drywall patch stuff.
And of course, we decided to take along our trusty sidekick. So what are we getting?
We're gonna go grab some drywall patch kits. Since I don't need to patch the ceilings, there's not that many repairs to do.
Yep, now I know why they do this. Right here.
Normally we would say no, but our playroom is inaccessible.
All those toys have been quarantined.
Somebody has a birthday coming up next week. Asher, how old are you gonna be? 7. We were just watching a video from 6 years ago today.
And tell them and then
Little fat baby Asher. He's the sweetest, happiest little baby.
Yeah, how did we get to the age where our youngest of 4 is now almost 7? Like, that is mind-blowing. Yes. Ish. And we're back. Don't hit that truck. Don't hit the truck. Once we got back, we took a quick peek at progress in the bathroom, and it was coming along nicely. In fact, things were going so well that Andrea decided it looked really fun, and so she jumped into the mix as well.
Since I was on the opposite side of the bathroom, I wasn't in anybody's way, and I figured I might as well go ahead and make some progress of my own. We had several holes in the wall from old light fixtures, and these patch kits made it really easy to patch them up myself.
Progress was happening on both ends of the room, which was exciting. And then our tile guys had a few questions for the DIY wife.
We're gonna learn how to do home stuff.
A lot of...
I don't know.
Just
I think I was
project after
motivated because
project.
we didn't have money to pay other people to do it at first. I was like, I want it done, and so I don't know. I ask a lot of questions too. And so I would find somebody like at Lowe's, like an older guy who's like been doing, stuff for like 50 years, and they like to talk about it, and I would ask questions.
And as Andrea was finishing up the drywall patches, simultaneously our tile guys were finishing up the shower pan. Look at that. All right, what's next, kid?
I'm gonna start putting shiplap on the ceiling. I am gonna use glue for this though because, gravity.
See, you got your work boots on again.
Once I had the glue applied, it was time to put the panel on the ceiling, and this was definitely a job for 2 people. Hey, this is really heavy. Good?
Yeah. I'm back in my familiar position here. Wow.
Am I seriously like out of nails?
Baby doll. Shoulder burn. I'm about to retire. And this was not proving to be a quick and easy job.
Ow! Ow! You think it's gonna look good? You are making me so nervous. Your heels are hanging into there. Get out, get out.
Hey, the best part about this next panel is you get to measure and cut a bunch of holes in it. That's gonna be amazing.
I'm so close to not having to cut it that way. Dang.
But not close enough.
But not close enough, so let me see. For a cut like this, I find it really helpful to draw myself a little map on paper just so that I don't make any silly mistakes. That way. 13.5. After I had all my measurements written down, I took the panel outside to make my cuts.
Back to the DIY workhorse.
The sawhorses.
DIY sawhorse, that's what I meant to say.
That's not right. At least I figured it out now before I started cutting. Why is this like hurting my brain? Because it's like it literally needs to go up like that. Oh wait. No, I think that is right. Goodness gracious. Okay.
You're losing your mind over there. I think my wife is going crazy. She's talking to herself and following treasure maps.
Quiet. I don't understand why this is like so confusing.
And at this point in the process, I was starting to question Andrea's sanity.
I'm like picking it up, putting it on the ceiling. Like, should I go like remeasure in there before I actually make cuts?
And there she goes. Welcome to Dean's Nature Show, finding the beauty in everyday life. Look at this peach tree we have here with the little baby peaches. Oh, she's back.
I like my sunglasses.
There she goes again. Grass is the heartiest plant on earth. We're back.
Okay, I think we're good. Thankfully, I measured things correctly and the panel fit, but we were in quite a rush because we had dinner plans with friends. Square number 1. Woo! We gotta work fast.
There you have it. That's the most work you've ever done to put 2 holes into a beadboard.
I better not have messed up. Oh my god, good thing I didn't.
For the test. Looky there. Nice.
I'm gonna, ready?
What?
I'm just trying to move fast. We're supposed to be leaving to go get pizza really soon.
And once again, I struck a familiar pose. Can you see sweat in my armpit?
You're not pulling it this way.
I'm just holding it up. I'm a holder. I hold boards, I hold cameras, I hold babies, I hold you in my arms. I hold it all.
My arms are burning so bad holding this thing.
Our butts are touching. I'm liking the beadboard, I'm a fan. Get me out of here.
We gotta leave in 10 minutes for dinner.
Oh, great.
But the last thing we need to do, and the last thing we can do, is measure and cut our trim boards that go on top right here on this side. I can't do the shiplap or the crown molding, anything on this side, because we don't have drywall on the outside of the arch yet. So I can't really do anything that involves this wall. So the last thing to do is cut these trim boards. I picked up these trim pieces from Lowe's, and they're actually the same exact ones that we used in our daughter's room a few weeks ago. I cut everything down to size and then brought it inside to install. Thankfully, all of my cuts were correct, and so install went super quick. Even though things are definitely a mess and we're still very much in process, it is so exciting to see my vision finally coming to life, and I'm really happy about how everything is turning out. Oh my gosh, okay, we gotta go right now.
Hey.
There you go.
Oh, we did it. We did it.
And then as soon as they drywall this, we'll be able to finish up the trim. Hopefully that won't take too long. We can do the flooring, the baseboards, and then paint everything.
All right, let's get out of here. It's time for pizza.
It looks so good. I like this stuff on the ceiling. I'm so glad we went this way with it.
Well, amazing job on some big time progress in the bathroom this week. And it's been a lot of work so far, but we're definitely on the way.
Yeah, this week felt like it was jam-packed, especially with all of the just juggling schedules and trying to work around when our tile guys were there, and it was a little bit nuts, but I feel like we still got a decent bit done, and I am so excited about how it's turning out. Like, even the details, like the ceiling, we debated for a while on, should we do the shiplap on the ceiling? Is it too much? And like, just seeing it go up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna look really good.
It is. And so next week, we actually won't have a brand new bathroom video because we're having to take so much time out of the bathroom to give our crew space.
But in 2 weeks, our plan is to get all of the painting done, the rest of the trim, hopefully all of the tile,
The tile's going in.
So a bathroom video in 2 weeks is gonna be a good one.
So we'll see you next week with a recap of Riley's beautiful bedroom. And then in 2 weeks, it's back into the bathroom. So we'll catch you there. Found this. If I roll a 6, you subscribe right now.
No,
3, 2,
we're
1,
getting
go.
Coffee.
Oh, dude, that was not even.
People are gonna think we edited
What?
that.
I did not edit that. I'm filming with a cell phone. I didn't edit that.
But did you hear what I said?
Are you
I said
kidding?
if you roll a 6, we go get coffee. That's what I said.
I don't believe that. You're gonna have to play back the replay. 2,
We're
1,
getting
go.
coffee.
Oh, you did, son of a monkey's uncle. Okay, are you just gonna stand in one position and shoot for
My
like 5
cameraman
minutes?
hasn't told me. It's been 3 minutes. My cameraman hasn't told me to move.
I mean, usually I'm just like moving everywhere, all around.
I'm
doing the
taking
different
a rest break. People are staring. I want to go hide in the car. 2 shots and a couple of finger shots. Got to change things up a little bit, you know?
Oh, I get it. Is this like an Instagram photo booth? Is that what we're doing here? Here, put your face through it. Yes! Put that on the gram.
I'm just picking my nose, Grant.
Oh.
I can feel something up in there. Is it hanging out?
Did you find anything in there? You find some gold in there, matey? That's a little cheesy.
You're a cheese ball.
I'm a cheese ball.
You're a fat cheese ball. Just fat, stinky cheese ball.
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm so tired.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, or
Probably not.
go nap on the couch right now? till we gotta pick up the kids. We got 45 minutes. It's just enough time to almost fall asleep and then have your alarm go off and be angry that you didn't actually fall asleep.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. That's why I don't try and nap. We could play Catan instead.
We could play a game of Catan right now. You should probably turn that camera off.
Yeah, are you still filming? Turn it off.
Oh, yep, sorry.